Attacking the natural is going to be pretty hard for Jangbi, but he doesn't need to. He's going to be able to macro up and probably just crush the attack, I'd have to say. I think I'm being a little hard on WinDy. I think I'm just judging Flash versus JJ here, but he has a couple vultures out. I mean, so far, he's looked pretty good. Pretty safe, conservative player, it looks like. A couple vultures coming out. Going to be able to spot if that third expansion is going up. We're going to see a pylon wall off at the top left, and those two vultures aren't even going to be able to get in here. I'm going to be able to send goons up and clean that up if they were to choose to attack the pylons here. But really, he knows the third's up. He knows what he's against. He knows harassment plays can be held to a minimal considering that the third expansion is going up. He sees the observer in his base, it looks like. So he's going to know that there's no reavers coming per se, and it looks like he's probably just going to play it pretty standard here. Jangbi loves his arbiters. He has great arbiter play. 5 gateways falling down here. He does have 5 gateways now, so he's going to be able to just macro up, and pretty standard. This is when PvT actually can get a little dull at moments. I really like playing this matchup. It's really hard, actually, for me. PvP is by far my best matchup, and then PvZ, it's not so good, guys. Shh, it's not so good. 2 armories going up here. And really just laying some mines, just being a pain basically. But yeah, I mean, pretty dull moment right now in the game. When Jangbi does, or when gosh, I can't remember his name, sorry. When WinDy does choose to pop out, does choose to push out, then that's going to be basically a game-making decision here. And then really, it's going to come down to how well Jangbi can stop that attack, how well he can delay it, and macro-wise, he's doing great. We have more vultures. These vultures are all going to be held to a minimal. Laying mines everywhere. Nice play by WinDy. I'm pretty impressed, though. WinDy looks like we might actually see a game. We do see the 3rd command center coming up pretty early, though, and I think that's the right move. Breaking this choke is a very hard thing to do, and one thing you can do is that you actually can use, I saw in, who was it? Oh, it was If Classic versus Rhett. A different matchup, yes, but it still relates. You can actually take your 3rd expansion. You actually can put your tanks on the low ground outside your natural, and you can defend your 3rd expansion with it. There's like a spot, like right, because like the little plants like concave in, and you can put 2 siege tanks right there. And I'm interested to see if he's going to do it. I haven't seen too many pros do it actually, but it's kind of neat. You can actually go ahead and siege that 3rd for defense here, and he's going to be able to come out, lay out some lines. Very, very standard PvT taking place right now, guys, and we are going to see, it looks like the 3rd expansion going up. Probably going to have to see the 4th come up from Jangbi fairly quickly. Holding the 4th can be kind of a problem. There's a couple places you can take it. It just depends on what you choose. But really, we have a couple more factories going down here for WinDy, and a couple siege tanks out, and really just going to play pretty safe, just hold that ground and try to macro. But I feel this is the right way to play this map. He's going to lose a few SCVs transferring, not a huge deal, but he's actually going to lose more than a few. Getting stuck on that vulture, he's actually going to lose about 6 SCVs, I'd have to say, and that was a little sloppy by WinDy. Jangbi just reading that perfectly. He knows the time. We are seeing the Arbiter's Tribunal. We are going to see Arbiters, more gateways going down here, and it looks like he is actually taking the expansion at the 12 o'clock to take that 4-3 macro lead here. But one thing, I think this is a right move by WinDy to macro up and then do a slow push across the map when your numbers are overwhelming, when you have that full army, when upgrades are in your favor. Because flanking is a pretty hard thing to do on this map, PvT, but they can put a lot of pressure on that 3rd, and it can be a pain to defend, and that's for both ways. But these vultures have been stopped, pylon walls all over the place for Jangbi, and WinDy probably against a normal player, even against guys on ICUP at high level, he could get quite a bit of vulture harassment. He's been pretty persistent with it. It's what he likes to do. And see right there, those tanks actually can reach that 3rd here and help defend that. We are seeing cannons going down. So basically all this vulture harassment is going to be ending pretty quickly here. And then it's going to come into pure macro here. But losing those SCVs, that actually was a little sloppy here. He actually got stuck on his own vulture. And now Jangbi pushing across with the middle, just laying mines out. It's a huge thing to do, guys, is to lay mines out. If you don't, basically that's a low level players. PvT, they won't lay the mines out. And really, Terran, when they push out, they know they can go to those mines because they know there's no Protoss units before those or after those, so they can just push out and go directly to those mines. So they'll lay mines like 3/4 of the way to your base, and then if you don't kill those mines, then they know they can just get there. And 1-1 march. They can just unsiege, walk all the way there, and siege up behind those mines and use those as support. That's why laying out mines is so big, and that's why you constantly see the pros laying out mines, and they can use them for scouting, trying to harass with these vultures. Here, I don't think it's got one probe kill yet, and that's why you all constantly see, though, in PvT, you constantly see the Dragoons going around, scouting with an observer and just sniping off mines by mines by mines, and just slowly making their way across the map doing it. And we are going to see these vultures. They can't even get in a complete wall in here, and these goons are going to be able to clean it up. And that was a clutch cannon or pylon, whatever that was in the corner there, by Jangbi. And now he has 3 cannons at his 4th, and now he's going to see arbiters out. And I guess WinDy must trust his late game a little bit against Jangbi, because that's exactly going the build he did, holding his 2nd, getting a quick 3rd. That's exactly what he's hoping for. He wants a late game, so hopefully his late game control is pretty good. His slow push has to be pretty decent, though. Jangbi's a player, I mean, really, he's like best. I think he's really, really good with his arbiters here. We are seeing the vulture scout. I think he knows about the 4th. I'm not going to be able to vulture harass that, though, because of the number of cannons here. And Jangbi looks like he's making a move across the map with a group of units here. Once he gets that 4th rolling, he does have that shuttle out. Does he have High Templar in there, or he probably just Zealot bombs? I don't see any High Templars, actually, so it could be WinDy's lucky day, and I'm not going to have not a party here. I'm just storming the crap out of those tanks here. But Jangbi, he's in a comfortable situation. He's now getting his 5th, and this is what I worried about, though, is you got to make that move. Only Flash can fall behind 3-5 bases and really just come out and roll your opponent. Basically, Flash versus Shuttle, a prime example, and it actually was on this map, trying to Zealot those. Oh, the Zealot bomb going off, actually killing those 2 vultures here. And we are seeing a dropship come into play, and he's actually going to separate the army from the mine, so Jangbi's going to have an observer to come over there. Has that arbiter out. Nice play here, actually, by WinDy. He's going to be able to put a little pressure on, but losing those vultures to the cannons here, and Jangbi knows he has to wait for an observer, but he's not in too big of a hurry. There's only 2 tanks taking that expansion. Going to lose cannons. These cannons are going to draw the fire, but that Nexus is going to stay up here, and Jangbi is just going to be able to lay out these mines and kill these tanks. But that is a nice thought. Smart play against lower level players. When you run across with no observer, it can be pretty ugly, but that Shuttle's going to be able to go ahead and drop those Zealots, clean up those tanks, and WinDy's harassment has been held to a minimal. He has a group of tanks here, and I haven't been able to catch his upgrades quite yet. It looks like they are 0-1. And now we have 1 upgrade for Jangbi and the weapons here. So really, Jangbi's in a comfortable situation to move out. Really, I don't think, I don't feel WinDy is in any kind of shape to move out here. We are seeing Jangbi put a pressure on. Jangbi is definitely in the lead. Map control has his 5th up and running now. Pro's going to be transferred over there momentarily here, and this is going to be in a tough situation for WinDy. I feel this is exactly what he didn't want to get into, trying to play the macro game. You don't want to get down 3-5 bases, and this is exactly what can happen on this map. He's going to have to make a move across the map. He's going to try to push, or he's going to have to move out, use the high ground, and secure that 6 o'clock expansion, or even the bottom right expansion, because the narrow choke can make a pain for really good defense with the siege tanks, and make it a pain for Jangbi to push in with those Dragoons, just because of the narrow choke and getting siege and everything. But we just see that Arbiter coming in. It looks like we are going to see a recall here from Jangbi. We do have some mines, and that recall is going to be perfectly placed, but he does have a couple tanks in here.